Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. You made it to the middle of the week. It's a holiday period of time where some folks are all in on vacation, or some have to get back to work, and we understand that. So I wanted to give you some weather information that might be helpful for you. Take a look behind me and take it full screen. You can see there are some specks of rain. It's not like it's raining hard, but there are some green specks around Hamlin County, Granger County, Hancock County, and I would suspect even into parts of Virginia and southeast Kentucky. But if you move further south, you'll find some specks of rain in Sevier County, Cobb County, and so it goes. But it is trying to move to the east. All this, again, Ultimate Doppler Radar, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa, the best express car wash and vacuum in East Tennessee. Love it. Check them out at TidalWaveAutospa.com. It's like getting 2 car washes for the price of 1. And there's some poor visibility due to the fog, low clouds, even some of the light rain, down to 2 miles at McGee-Tyson. That's what that 2 refers to. But it's about a mile or less around Morristown, Hamlin County, and Oneida. So there could be some poor areas of visibility as you head out the door. Temperatures are starting off in the mid to upper 40s. We're at 49 in Knoxville, 49 in Maryville, 48 Morristown, but it's cooler to the tune of 9 degrees. It's cooler in Jamestown. They're at 40, and it's 42 in Cross Hill. So it's getting a little bit cooler to the plateau, to the north and west, and that is to be expected. High temperatures today will struggle to reach the mid to upper 50s. If you're on the call, I want to say good morning to you. It is Wednesday. Do you have any special plans today? Love to hear about it. You can let me know on both YouTube and Facebook, because I'm live on Facebook here. Looking at Carrie's comments, she said good morning. She's got the sunshine. By the way, Carrie, we're going to see that today. Might be slow, clouds to sunshine, but everyone should have a fantabulous day, as she notes, with her heart and her coffee. Thank you so much, Carrie. And if you got a comment on YouTube, let me know. I'm also on this platform as well. Would love to see, maybe you could be the first to leave a comment on YouTube here this morning on this particular platform. But as we go back to the radar and the temperatures, because temperatures right now are pretty mild. Normal low this time of year is around 31 degrees, and we're at 49 right now. So you can complain and say, oh, it's winter, which is true. Or it's been rainy, which is true. But it's not the 30 degrees and 12 degrees it was last Christmas in 2022. Some of you remember we dipped as low as 4 degrees leading up to Christmas. So it was a bitter situation. So if it can really be cold, like Arctic cold, in December last year, and then it turned mild, could we see the opposite this winter? Could we have like a warm December, and then all of a sudden the wagons or the wheels fall off the wagon? It gets really cold in January. And that's what I suspect we're going to get. So if you're ready for winter, buckle up your seatbelt, because 2024 is almost here. In fact, you may not even have to wait until 2024 to see a few flakes. We'll talk about that in the 7-day forecast. But as far as temperatures, 49 in Newport, it is 50 in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge at this hour, and you can see 48 there in Athens. But the radar, again, just to highlight, we're not talking about a lot of rain this morning. A lot of this is trying to move from west to east, so it's around Morristown. It's approaching Dandridge. It's in Dandridge and over Douglas Lake, and stretching into parts of southern Blount and Sevier County. And here's the movement. It's been coming up from south to north. It's like it's been persistent. Some of you maybe have been looking at your Captain Accurate Weather app, asking yourself, where's this rain coming from? It doesn't seem to want to stop. It's like the skies have leaked, and there's no question about that. But I know some of you are more interested about the snow. It is still snowing in Iowa, parts of it. Still snowing around Kansas City. It's doing a loop-de-loop around KC, and also into parts of South Dakota and Nebraska. And if you are interested in how much snow they've picked up, oh, I got those answers too. They've had a blizzard, don't you know, across the Midwest over the last couple of days. Pretty bad, in fact. There's no snow in Tennessee, though, not on the ground that we can see, but there are a few flakes on the ground in New York State and into New England. But if we slide to the west, northwest, they've had about a foot, maybe 13, 12 inches in pink there, in parts of Nebraska, as well as into maybe the Dakotas. Pretty interesting to see all the snow there. And of course, they've had it quite a bit, over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet or more in the Rockies, where they expect to see snow. But it's looked like that for most of the fall season. They've had snow there since October. So if you're keeping score, there's still a lot of snow on the ground. Let me bring you up to speed on the rainfall, because I think this might be very helpful. December is typically the second soggiest month of the year. I've said that multiple times. But we haven't really looked at the normal yearly rainfall at the bottom. That's about 52 inches. So you might expect, I might expect, any normal landscaper, farmer, or gardener might want to expect that we'd see about 52 inches a year. and we're rounding out 2023 very soon. So if I were to do some checking, which I've done right through this very hour, by the way, McGee Tyson picked up 0.02 this morning since midnight, but because I got some good notes here, we picked up 0.94 yesterday. So McGee Tyson, just under an inch of rain fell yesterday, and it just kept on coming. And then another 0.02 this morning brings us to a grand total of 604. So you mean we're over an inch for the month of December? Well, that's true. And it's the first above average month since August, because last August we were near 7 inches. And it's just been amazing because September was exceedingly dry, October was exceptionally dry, and then November was below normal as well. So now, if you look at the bottom, I've done the totals for us right through this very hour, right through 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 27th. We're now at 47.49. That's about 3 3/4 below average for the year. So as grand and as wonderful as it's been, that we've had all this rain, we're still about 3 3/4 below average for the year, and I don't think we'll make that up at least this month. But there's always January because we can get some good rain and some good snows. Isn't that exciting? We're going to look at future snowfall. But I want to check in with you, say hi, good morning to you. It is Wednesday, the 27th. If you're on the call on YouTube, Marilyn Bell says happy Wednesday, everyone. She says I'm ready for snow, and she's on Team Snow. Thank you for sharing that with me on YouTube, Marilyn. You're the best. Shannon says bring on some snow. Shannon Scott. And then Hallie Gibson, one of my premium members, says good morning. Good morning, Hallie. And hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year to you, as well as to Shannon and Felicia saying happy Wednesday. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you had a blessed time this time around. As we are talking about the end of the year rainfall, we're now about 3 3/4 below average for the year. Speaking of the year, we're counting down the days, if not the minutes, to 2024. The ball will drop. We have no control over that. We'll change the calendar, and so it goes, but that is what to be expected, as we move into Sunday night, Monday. By the way, the Citrus Bowl will be played down in Orlando. We all know that. Many of us know that. Citrus Bowl, of course, they're playing Iowa. Who's Iowa? Well, they're 10-3, so they're kind of a formidable foe, I suppose. We're going to take on 10-3 versus our 8-4, the Go Big Orange. I expect temperatures will be in the 60s, not 80s, 60s, not 70s. It's going to be even cool for Orlando, given the fact that it is the middle of, well, the end of December, right? Partly cloudy skies, winds about 5 to 10 plus now, but I think temperatures should top off around 67, and that should be where they are by the end of the fourth quarter. That's been an updated forecast. Now, temperatures, 49 degrees, Knoxville, 49 in Oak Ridge right now at 6:47 in the morning. It's 39 in Jamestown. Jamestown's dropped a degree, and I suspect Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County will also begin to drop in temperature here in the next few minutes because we are still dropping. Our lows haven't been achieved yet. Usually don't occur until sometime between 7 and 7:30. Now, as far as the 27th, heading out the door, you're going to find lots of clouds, and then the sky is going to turn blue. At least the high clouds will remain, but we'll go from 49 at, say, 6. Won't move much between now and 10 until the clouds break. The fog lifts. We'll be in the mid-50s by 2 o'clock. I expect a high of 57 degrees. Now, wind speeds about 6 miles per hour and about 8 miles per hour in Morristown, so there may be a little bit of a coolness to the air. We're 5 degrees cooler now than we were this time yesterday morning. If you're playing the home game version, Scott County is a whopping 11 degrees cooler now than they were 6 o'clock yesterday morning, just for some comparison. But as far as our temperatures are concerned, we're currently at 49. Yes, that is 27 in Jackson. Amazing how they're much colder than Memphis. They've got a southerly wind, so they're now into the 40-degree range in Shelby County, while they're 50, count them 50 degrees in Johnson City. So kind of interesting there. I want to go back because I want to see if I didn't put that slide in here. Let me see if I put that in here. Hopefully I can pop that up here. But I just wanted you to know what I'm expecting today. Here it is. It is in my forecast here. So bear with me. We'll keep this moving. But I do see a lot of clouds, obviously, in the start of the day, and then it gets a lot brighter as we head through the second half of your afternoon. So by about midday, expect a lot of these low clouds to erode. That's not to say you couldn't see sun before midday, but don't be surprised if these low clouds kind of hang out, pretty much hang around until later on in the day. Most of the rain you can see now up toward Charleston, West Virginia, sliding up toward Roanoke and Greensboro, so the rain is trying to depart. All right, we're getting to the today forecast, 7:45. Notice how my sky in the background turned blue. We're going to go from clouds to hazy sun. Sun's up at 7:45, a little less than an hour from now, but will set at 5:29 this morning. So if you look at the high temperatures, there they are. I knew that slide was in somewhere, but 57 is what I expect for Knoxville, Maryville. Upper 50s for Madisonville, Tellico Plains with a touch of fog this morning. Fog for Sevierville, first thing this morning. And then we're talking clouds giving way to some sunshine. Spots of rain, certainly in the offering in the early parts of the day. But 54 Oneida, 58 La Follette, and 56 in Kingston. Here are my headlines. I'm going to get to your comments or observations too. Spotty rain early today, clouds to sunshine today. And then tomorrow it's clouds to hazy sunshine. Most of tomorrow will be sun-filled. Tomorrow's highs should only reach about 48 degrees. 48, is that like normal? No, I mean normal high is about 49, but you know, you might say it seems chilly. But 48 tomorrow is what I expect on Thursday. So I want to come back over to you and say good morning to you if you're on the call. Wanda says Happy New Year, everyone. Now is the weather. Just if the weather will just cooperate, I want snow. Wanda is in need of some snowflakes. We'll see if we can get her some snowflakes soon. Marilyn Bell saying I'm ready for Team Snow. And Diane Babinski says good morning. She's got her happy face. Glad to have Diane on YouTube as well. We're talking about the headlines today at 6:51. I'll be done in less than 9 minutes. That I am sure. But you'll notice it does get colder as we round out the end of the year. And one way to illustrate that is taking a look at the temperatures at 5,000 feet. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I don't live at 5,000 feet. That would be you'd have to be up to, like, I guess, Newfound Gap. That's about 5,000 feet, a little more. And then Klingman's Dome or Mount LeConte, you'd have to be above 6,000 feet. But that's a good sample. If it's cold up there, it's cold enough to snow down here. And some of you had a report, I had some notes that they had some hail yesterday in Granger County. It was a little comment. Somebody posted a video on the David Aldrich Weather Group, and I said, whoa. And I went back and did the hail tracker. I posted that picture. It was right around 9:30 yesterday morning. There was some hail and some thunder in parts of Granger County near Powder Springs. So if you're not far from Luttrell, you might have had some hail yesterday. But with the colder air aloft, this is the 29th. The really cold air starts to spin in here. So some of the cold air that's been around, say, Nebraska that brought them their blizzard, some of that cold air will be modified, but it'll be working its way here, as will be generally in the 40s for highs and 30s for lows. It's going to be more common than what we're getting now. And then we're going to see this lock and reload as we move into the new year, because this represents January 2nd. And it's cold enough to snow here too. And the really bitter air up in purple, up in Canada, may represent single-digit wind chills as well as teens and 20s. So we'll eventually get there. Hang on, because this winter weather is just getting started. Future snowfall, I like to show this just for illustration purposes, because we really don't know beyond 3 days with confidence. We can look for trends, we can look for patterns, and that's what we do on the premium side. But I can give you a sample that every time my premium members I show this to them, the output's different every time. And it's just to show that, hey, maybe the pattern is going to change, because there are indications there could be snow in Alabama, snow in Georgia. No, really? That's what the long-range models are showing? Yeah, look at it. Just look at it. That takes you to the 9th of January. This pattern is going to change, folks. So if you think these 40s in the morning are going to be what we have through the new year, think again, because I don't want weather to surprise you, because quite honestly, we could get this amount of snow, we could get much less, we could get much more. It's just going to depend on what happens with these storm systems, because they can jog a little to the left, they can jog a little bit to the right, and suddenly, all of a sudden, voila, suddenly we talk about snow in the future. But it's coming. I will say this, we will have some opportunities going down the road. But those amounts mean nothing to me until we get closer in. Right now, 49 degrees is our current temperature. We have a west wind at 6, and it's now 6:53 in the morning. No way is it 49. It is. And I'm expecting highs around 57. Some spots of rain, as we've noted, around Morristown, around Granger County, around, say, Dandridge, Newport, some spots of rain for you. And then that drizzle, spots of rain, will give way to hazy sunshine as the afternoon draws near. But average high is 49, so we should be about 8 degrees. Now, if we hit 58 today, wouldn't surprise me. If we hit 59 in some of the southern valleys, it wouldn't surprise me. But 57, I think, is reasonable to expect here on a Wednesday. Now, as far as the rain opportunities, 20% today. I've got a nothing burger for tomorrow. And then a 30% chance on Friday. That could be a combination of drops and flakes. Flakes for higher hills, drops for the valley. And then even on Monday there could be some flurries, or actually flurries on Saturday. I've added that as well, because the system on Friday may be slower to get out. And so you might wake up Saturday morning and you'll say, I saw a flurry. Did it accumulate? Well, no, that's why it's called a flurry. Oh, okay. So if you see a flurry on Saturday morning, Don't be surprised. But that's what we're going to see. And that's still 2023 if I last checked, because the first of the year isn't until Monday. And so there's the possibility that you may see a flake before 2023 is over. By the way, the Storm Prediction Center here at 6:55 shows one area, maybe two if you count Key West, and maybe three if you count Northern California. But there are some areas for some general thunderstorms today. Most of them around Richmond, New York City, and maybe into Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. So those are the areas where thunder may be present. As I mentioned, we had a thunderstorm or two roll through around 9:30 yesterday. That brought some hail near Luttrell and around Granger County. But I can tell you this, severe risk for tomorrow is a nothing burger all across the lower 48. This is from our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. And if we jumped ahead to Friday, same situation. Not much to see here on Friday in around not only Tennessee, but all across the country, as severe weather will not be an issue at that time. Now, a futurecast shows this slow, and I mean slow-moving system crawling up from Columbia, South Carolina, to Raleigh, and sliding northward. So all that rain is headed to D.C. if you're headed there. If you're headed up to Philadelphia or New York, that's where the rain will reside. There's another system from the west that might produce a spot of rain. If not this afternoon, there could be a spot shower for Jamestown, Crossville tonight. So I'll mention that. If you're in Crossville, you're in Jamestown, and you get a passing shower after dark tonight, don't be surprised. It's because of the warm front. You see the warm front there near Nashville? That might spawn a little spot shower for, say, the Plateau later this evening. And then it fades. It doesn't have a chance to get to Knoxville, but if you're in Crossville or in Jamestown, if you get some drizzle, no big deal. And then we move into Thursday. This system's kind of winding up like a top. We go from clouds to hazy sun, and then all of a sudden it's drops and flakes on Friday. Most of it, knock on wood, is over here toward Memphis. Most of it is back toward Nashville. But there's going to be, oh, it doesn't. Do you know how little energy it takes? I would say a little, but it doesn't take much in the way of cloud cover to produce a flake, just a flurry. Oh, a little sight, a little sight. A lot of people think flurries are just the intensity. No, no, if it's not sticking, I call that a flurry. You could get a little flurry shower. Oh, but that could happen on Friday. It could happen on Saturday morning. As you can see illustrated here, this little trough, the little brown line, is going to be what kick-starts most of that into town and then kick it out. But I have a 30% chance we get some drops and flakes on Friday. And there's the Saturday. Ooh, there's the shocker. If you're in the Plateau, I got a snow shower. Maybe. Some of the models don't even show it this aggressively. But this is a good illustration that it might be some drops and flakes because there's some pink in there. It can be a wet snowflake changing to a raindrop. 7 o'clock Saturday morning, I have us down to 30 in Knoxville. So there will be some flurry opportunities. Look at that. For Saturday, early on in the morning. Now, our futurecast goes like this. We're going to take it to noontime. As we're in the 40s now, should be about 53 at lunch. And then watch the clouds. They disappear. For the second half of the day, anything that remains should be of the high cloud variety, but enough hazy sun. We're up to 57 today. If we hit 58, wouldn't surprise me. But then by midday or 5 o'clock, we're at 55, and then the clouds start to come back a little bit. I have tonight partly cloudy for the evening, mostly cloudy overnight, as the clouds roll back in, and then the clouds begin to thin out for the second half of Thursday. So Thursday afternoon, we'll be lucky to get to 48 by my estimation. So Thursday will be probably closer to average for this time of year. It is 6:58, 57 degrees, spots of rain early today, clouds of hazy sun, and the winds will pick up today, 5 to 10 plus. Not much more, maybe 15 for a gust of wind, but not much more than that. Today, a high of 56 in Clinton, Oak Ridge, Oliver Springs, and 57 for Maryville, 56 for Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, about, say, 55 for Gatlinburg, 59 for Tellico Plains, Crossville about 54, and 54 for Wartburg and Oneida. I want to say good morning to you. I've just about hit the 7 o'clock mark, so I'm going to finish on time. I see another note from Diane and Marilyn popping up over Facebook, so we're on YouTube as well. And Ed says, good morning, David. Does El Nino continue into 2024? It does. It does in varying forms. But I think the fact that the atmosphere is getting so warm in the stratosphere, there's going to be another big surge of cold air coming into January. So we haven't even felt winter yet. So it's not uncommon that we get a warm December in an El Nino year. But watch what happens in January. We're going to flip the coin. And all of a sudden, some folks will be like, I didn't see this coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. Good morning to Cody LaRouche. Good morning, David. Glad to have Cody here. And Wanda saying, if you have David's premium service, you'll know to get ready for the cold weather ahead. And Tyler says, good morning from Tellico Plains. Glad to have Tyler here as well. Glad to have you all here as it's now 6:59. I'm wrapping things up. Here's the today forecast. Here's the today travel forecast. If you're going to, say, Augusta or Columbia, around 66. If you're going to Paducah, there'll be around 50 with a few rain showers. Jackson, Kentucky, about 52. So tonight we're down to 38. I would describe tonight as a half and half. It's partly cloudy, if not mostly clear for part of the evening. But then overnight, the clouds roll in. Winds west-southwest about 3 to 8 miles per hour. We're dropping to about 38 degrees. In Knoxville, 36 for Morristown, Newport, 33 Kingston, Rockwood, Harriman, and also Athens. About 31 for a low temperature tonight, Crossville and Jamestown, where they may get a spot of rain showers, a spot of rain for the just after dark tonight from the warm front. Now, 7-day forecast. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for the last few days of 2023 and the early part of 2024. 48 for Thursday. We're struggling to get to 41 Friday. And Saturday is no picnic as far as temperatures. We start at 30. I've got us the worst flurries, because I think that's about all we'll see in the valley. We'll have to see if we get some wet snow showers for the plateau Saturday morning. That's a possibility, but not all models are convinced because it depends on the placement of the trough. If the trough's a little closer, you might get more. That's why I invite you to check back. Don't you love weather? It's never the same day twice. But I will tell you this. We're going to be about 44 for the new year, 52 on Sunday. So Sunday, New Year's Eve day, it will be milder, but we will drop back into the 20s, it looks like, by Tuesday morning with more sunshine. So there could be more drops and flakes on Monday. But the interesting thing is one little system comes in Friday into Saturday morning. So that's all why it's going to be kind of changeable. Because a couple of days ago, it looked like Saturday was mostly sunny. And then this system says, no, 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 not going to move out that fast. So we had to add a mostly cloudy outlook for Saturday with a few flurries thrown in for good measure. Don't you love that? As I say, it's kind of fun. But you always have to enjoy the weather because you never know what you might get. But you can know if you check out my winter weather outlook. Ed was talking about El Nino. We talk about this in great detail, Ed. I invite you specifically to join us on the premium side because I have a 15-minute video where I talked about nothing but winter and winter only and why I suspect we're going to get quite a bit more snow than anybody else in town is talking about. So make sure you check out my winter weather outlook. It's online, came out around Halloween. You're also the first to see my snow forecast because there's going to be quite a few of those. And some of you will be like, how much am I going to get? How much am I going to? Are you a premium member? No. Do you know all you'd have to do is put 16 stars? Because that's what 16 cents is. If you've donated 16 stars or more, and I know many of you have, if you did just that on a daily basis, you'd be a premium member because it's only $4.99 a month. It's a bargain. The best weather bargain if you're a weather fan in East Tennessee. You just go to CaptainAccurate.com. You will find this URL at the bottom. It's easy to sign up, and it's also easy to cancel anytime. So if it's not what you're hoping for, then you can sample it, see if it's what you like. But we do look at weather weeks in advance. We're already at the end of January. Yesterday's post went all the way to the end of January and how frigid it may or may not be. You might want to check it out. By the way, for this premium service that I'm talking about, it comes on Facebook, the same exact Facebook. It's like two streams of information. If you're a subscriber, you see a whole host of extra posts. If you're not a subscriber, you don't see them. So I just encourage you. That's one way it keeps me rooted here in East Tennessee. I love serving you in every capacity I can for weather because I love weather, as hopefully you can tell, and I love being able to share it with you. So I appreciate and very much thankful this year, Happy New Year, for all my premium members because they've kept me accountable when the forecast goes awry. But we always try to make and correct the ship as it's flying or moving through the sea as we move through the water vapor of the atmosphere. My name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. It's not easy being Captain Accurate. We'll see you here next time. Take care.